Hey, it's MK and I am here with a Scraptember layout, and today's prompt is stars. So I'm going to be doing a beachy theme. I have this stencil right here that I will be working with from Pear Tree Paper Crafts, and then also this circle grid stencil that, again, I don't really remember. It's something to do with cats. Oh my gosh, I don't know who made this stencil, but honestly, it seems like as soon as I bought it, it got discontinued because I've used it on several videos and have not been able to find where to purchase it. I have from 49 and Market this striped paper that is from Summer Porch, and then from P13, the Soulmate collection, I have a little bit of that blue. I also have from Summer Porch the laser cut elements, and these ones are the beachy themed ones. There was also like a backyard themed one. And for my stars, I'm actually going to be doing starfish. So I figured that's a play on the prompt, but my pictures are of starfish that I found at the pier when we parked in Sitka. So I'm going to be using some Nouveau embellishment mousse in Bermuda Pink, which is a lovely peach color, as well as some pumice stone in Distress Ink. And I have my blender tool for the pumice stone. So here are my photos. I have 4 photos of the pier that we walked down. So once you get off of the ship and you walk down and into the town of Sitka, you actually see all these tubes. It's almost like buoys sitting on the pier so the boats don't get too close to the dock. And they're completely lined with starfish and kelp and all that other stuff. And I just thought that they were so cool because they were so pink. Like the starfish were not the normal starfish that I am used to seeing at Huntington Beach. So it's almost like these ones were of a slightly different style and type. And so, of course, I had to snap a million photos because that's what I do. And then I zoomed in a couple. So the second photo down from the top is my zoomed in photo, and you can see a little bit more detail, at least not from this angle, but when you get closer and look at the picture in real life, you can see the more detail of the type of starfish that this might be. So I'm going to go ahead and take my little scraps. Now, this is another page kit that I created from the cleanup that I did that you guys haven't seen yet. So I'm creating these page kits. I created the page kits in a cleanup that I did on a reset, and so I recorded. I basically just turned the camera on and cleaned my desk, and then I split the video up into 4 different sections because it was so long. I put tools away. I put product away. I show you how I store my stamps and my dies, not where I store them, but how I store them. And then I did the exact same thing with paper and embellishments. And so it was quite the process, but I feel so much more refreshed now that it is done. So I am sharing those videos here shortly. It'll be a bit before I actually have room to share them with you guys as far as like my lineup of content, right? So, but I wanted to share with you guys that when I cleaned off my desk and I had my big old pile of paper, I was inspired by 2 tiny microscopic little pieces of paper to build page kits. Yes, it's so weird how the inspiration hits, but when it does, go for it, you guys. I'm not going to lie. Don't ignore your inspiration. Just go for it. If and when you can, take that inspiration and run, because as soon as I built all these page kits based off of the tiniest little inspiration, I've been a creative making fool, to be honest. So, all right. So I took my striped paper, I split it in half so that way I could have like a valley on my page, basically representing the dock, right? So you've got the dock and the buoy, and then this is the in-between space, which I am putting my grid in. I love this grid stencil, you guys. There is no wrong way to use it. You can use it at an angle, you can use it straight up and down, and it just blends in really well. It's one of my favorite purchases, and I am very sad that I can't find it for you guys. I really am. I can't even remember who made it. I know something to do with a cat. Just don't remember where it is. And like I said, as soon as I bought it, it seems like it instantly went in a discontinued pile, and you can no longer find it. I'm having a hard time. I have to go back into when I bought things from a Cherry on Top, because that's usually where I find my unique stencils. I go back to my ordering, and I can see where I bought it, and then I can click on that to have the picture come up. But then that's it. I cannot search any farther than with that. It's like an anomaly. All right, from close to my heart, I pulled out my peach aqua pen, and it is just basically a water brush full of color and glitter. And so I added some more splatters, thinking that this peach was going to be the only peach really, other than the peach in the starfish in the pictures, because I didn't realize when I pulled out all these supplies at the time that the starfish in the collection are really red, like red, not peachy red or orangey red. And I didn't realize that. So I had to bring in a little bit more of the peach just to make it look like I knew what I was doing. That's basically it. I do realize that when I first shared with you guys the stencil, it was upside down or backwards, but I made sure that east was going east when I actually applied the compass to my page. I just really wanted a large element, but I didn't want it to be so large and in your face that was all you focused on. So I left out the anchor in this giant stencil. And I have to say, to be honest, the stencil wasn't perfect. For one, the medium that I was using was a little bit too thick for the area that the stencil requires. The lines are really thick, really big. I was not expecting the stencil to be so big. It doesn't look that big. Even when I'm holding it in my hand, it did not look that big. But once I applied the product to my spatula, to the stencil, then I realized these are large spaces, and I definitely should not have chosen this, but I do like the messy look that I ended up getting, because I don't ever look for perfection. You guys, never, ever. And so I'm okay with the little bit of product that went underneath the stencil and kind of smushed out, because when I added my little splatters in, it actually made up for that. So it made it look like the splattering helped with the messiness of it. So it all worked out in my favor. And then, of course, I went through my little laser cut collection or elements and selected which ones I wanted. Of course, I picked out all the stars, because that's my prompt for today, is stars. And then I picked out a couple more other elements that I thought I want on this page, along with these little ropes, because there are a lot of ropes, especially when a boat is docked, that are on the docks and on wrapped around pillars and things like that. So I definitely wanted that feel of the ropes. Now that I'm thinking about it, I should have flipped my red and my white ropes, so that way there was red on the left side of my layout. But, it was on the fly. I love how the layout turned out. I still love it. It's just when I edit the videos, I can kind of see myself and think, well, how come I didn't do that? Or it would have looked cool if I did this, right? And I'm constantly finding places where it could have been a little bit better, even though I do like how it looks. I really do. I love the ropes, by the way. Those are my favorite pieces to the laser cut, is all of these ropes and knots and stuff like that. So I definitely enjoy having those, or finding a place for those within my scrapbook albums. And then this large net. Oh my gosh, you guys. That is when 49 in Market includes elements like this. They are usually the very first thing I want to put on a page, because they're my favorite. Look at how messy and chaotic and grungy that net is. I know I'm distressing my edges of my starfish, so that way they're not perfect. And it's very boring, and I didn't want to talk about that. So I'm talking about the other elements. That's just what I do, right? I just ignore what I'm doing and I talk about what I want to talk about. But yes, those nets are the first thing ever that I really want to reach for. And sometimes I have to tell myself, no, wait, save it, because then it ends up being on the layout it's supposed to be on rather than just because I wanted to use it, right? So sometimes I have to tell myself to stop being so sporadic or spontaneous. And I have kids, but they're back in school. Sorry about that. I still have to be a mom. And basically, at our house, we don't have free reign over the internet because the internet is a very scary place for children. And so I have to turn their internets on and off of their school computers, as well as any device that they have here in the house. And so that is all that I was doing, was allowing them to have access on the internet. And then when they're done, they come back to me and they tell me, hey, I'm all done. And then they show me that they have forgotten the internet, right? They turn it off and say, forget internet. So that way the computer doesn't automatically log them in, and then bam, they're automatically in the internet. Does that make sense? So anyways, I didn't realize that I did not cut that out. So randomly enough, I have this one off-white starfish. It would have been cool if I had the same number, like 3 blue, 3, they're not green, they're red, and 3 of the off-white ones, but I only had 1. And I'm assuming that the maker of this set, which I don't know if Katie Petite made this specific set or not, but I'm assuming that the designer thought you were going to buy all the product, and then there were several starfish throughout all of the product, but I only bought this one specific set, knowing that I had all these super cool dock photos, right, from every dock that we went to, Ketchikan, Sitka, and Juneau. I have really awesome dock photos, and that's why I bought this laser set. So anyways, there's my layout for you guys, as messy as it is, as imperfect as it is, but I love it. I love how it came out. I love the little element of peach and how it blends in with my red. And, of course, blue, white, and red always, it's just something to do with coastal in our brains. I don't know why. It's the same with black, orange, and purple, right? You automatically think of Halloween. It's just one of those things, right? All right, you guys, don't forget to check out all the links that I have down below for Scraptember. Again, thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I really, truly appreciate it, and I will check you guys all later. Bye.